Hi, and welcome to my open house video for this year, for the 2021-2022 school year. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. So my name is Mrs. Anderson. I am your child's Algebra 1 teacher. I either have them in Algebra 1 or my Algebra 1 math lab. My email address, if you need to reach me, is right there on the screen. Please take note of that. There's also a phone number there that you are welcome to text. That is a text-based number because it is through an application, so it does not receive phone calls. So if you were to try and call, you would not be able to reach me in any capacity. If your child ever needs any extra help, please feel free to refer them to coming and seeing me. I'm available almost every day after school. I do have a little poster right outside my door that does list whenever I'm available, so students are welcome to come in and see me and get some help. If it's the weekend or it's at night and they also need help, they're also always welcome to email or text me. Those are definitely great ways to get a hold of me because either email or text, it will come straight to my cell phone. So it's great options. So in my class, we use a few different programs. We are going to use Canvas some, but for Canvas, we use it mainly as a quiz platform. And then we use Google Classroom a lot. I post the video notes that your students should be doing, as well as if we do review games for different concepts, as well as links for our quizzes. So all of that stuff is all posted in Google Classroom, and we only use Canvas for the actual platform for the quiz. For grades, if you're ever curious about your child's grade, you can always email me. You can also always check Parent View and Student View. I do only update those grades into the system once, maybe twice a week. So a lot of times I'll do that over the weekend. I do try my best, but it is a little different sometimes. Materials that your child needs for my class is obviously things to write with. Pencils are always preferred because it is math, and if they make mistakes, it's a lot easier to erase with a pencil. But I will accept pens this year. I'm taking the leap and trying to accept pens. They will need paper, whether it's loose or spiral bound, it does not matter, and highlighters. Because in math, we do highlight our final answers because we want to make sure that it's very clear that I know when I'm looking at their paper what their final answer was. I do also allow them to box or circle those. Things that they could have but do not need: some sort of a binder to keep all their material in. We have physical assignments, they have note packets, all that stuff. A binder just helps to keep that organized. You may want to have a ruler for your child so that when we start graphing, they have that straight edge. It does not need to be a large ruler. It does not need to be a foot-long ruler. It can be just a 6-inch ruler is totally fine. Just a nice sturdy ruler would be beneficial for them. And then, of course, if you want to invest the money in a calculator for them, they can have their own personal calculators. I do have a small supply of calculators in my classroom, but the calculators that I have in my classroom are a little more complex calculators. So they tend to be difficult for the students sometimes to address. These are the calculators that I have here in my classroom. As you can see, there's a lot of buttons on there. That is definitely one of the more complicated calculators. I would highly suggest you can get them just a basic scientific calculator, and it will be plenty for them for my class. So in terms of their grades, 25% of their grade comes from the assignments that we do. Those are the paper worksheets that we do. 60% of their grade does come from the unit tests. Our first unit test is Friday, September 10th. So that is their first test. So that is going to be a huge portion of their grade. I grade the tests based on outcomes. So what that means is that when we take that first test, there is going to be multiple grades in there that together make the entire Unit 1 test. It is graded based on the different concepts. So they may have 5 scores for the Unit 1 test. Quizzes are only 5% of the grade, and then their final exam is 10% of their grade. This year I am using what's called a flipped classroom. You should have noticed by now that your child should be doing the notes before coming to class. So that's what they're saying is their homework for math. And that really is the case. They're doing their notes at home so that way they have more time if they work slower, different things like that. If they're a slow writer, we don't have to worry about that kind of concepts in class. We do a portion of the notes in class so that they do still get some of that feedback and remediation if needed, but the majority of the notes are done at home from a video. And then the benefit to this process is that it allows for the class time to be used to work on the assignment. So what that means is that then the students aren't having to struggle on an assignment at home where maybe they don't have the ability to get that help for whatever reason. It allows to where they're working on that assignment in class so that if they're struggling, if they have a question, they can immediately get the help from me in class to fix a problem that they may have. It also helps to where if I notice that a lot of students are having the same question, I can address the whole class about that situation. So those are just some of the great aspects of doing the flipped concept. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. So I'm looking forward to continue having a great year with your children. I am enjoying getting to know your kids so far, so please feel free to reach out to me via email or text whenever you need.